Hey guys, so today I want to talk about Botox. If you should get Botox starting in your 20s, if I think you need to go to a plastic surgeon to get Botox, all these doctors doing Botox, my thoughts on that. My experience with Botox, I've been getting it since I've been like 30 and now I'm 46, so it's a long time. Because there are some studies coming out now on the long-term side effects of Botox. And then also 3 things, if you watch this whole video, that you can do that will prolong your Botox. All right, so do I think you need to get your Botox from a plastic surgeon only? Definitely not. So my experience, and I've worked for a few plastic surgeons over the years, and I have different doctors that come in to my location and do consultations and do Botox. So here's my thought on it, and take it for what you want, but working with plastic surgeons, right, their number one passion is surgery, right? It's not Botox and fillers. So those, from my experience with working with them, were kind of just like filler appointments. They just did them to meet you, to maybe cross-sell you some other non-surgical or maybe surgical treatments. So they were not really into doing Botox and fillers, and I kind of felt like they just rushed through those treatments. I'm not a fan of going, and plus their prices are high. Then sometimes, like, the plastic surgeon doesn't even do it. They'll give you to the PA or someone else, depending on what state you're in. So anyway, I don't think you have to go to plastic surgeon to get Botox and fillers. If you have disposable income and that's your preference, then fine, I understand the rationale behind it. But I also tell my clients it's really important to go to someone and get Botox from someone that does it like all the time, okay? Like all the time. Because they have the most experience with how the Botox, works on the face. So like we've had an OBGYN coming into my location for like 17 years. Now he works with women like all day long, 5-6 days a week. So he became super passionate about doing Botox and fillers. So he loves it and he's amazing at it. He also over the years worked with Allergan and helped other physicians get started in doing this back 17 years ago, when a lot of doctors weren't doing it. He started doing it back then, and just has grown with it. So he loves doing it, and that's been my experience with other doctors who are not plastic surgeons or derms that get into the field. You just want to make sure that they do it all day long. So don't go to your dentist that does like one person a week, or your general practitioner doctor that just started, but you're comfortable with him. Like I personally wouldn't. I just would find somebody that does Botox and fillers, if that's what you're looking for, like all day and like loves it. Okay, that's just my tip. Take it for what you want. Another thing I get asked is, when should you start Botox? Should you start it in your 20s, 30s? So I started it early. So back, 16 years ago, I started it because my clients were asking me about it. And I wanted to know, what did it feel like and how long does it last and all of those things. So, so I started getting it when I was about 30 and I'm 46 now. So I definitely think that Botox can kind of slow down the aging process while you're getting it. So if you compared someone that got Botox for 5 years with someone who didn't, I think you're going to see more aging in that area of the person that didn't get the Botox, especially if they're super animated, in this area. I definitely think there's a difference. So I don't think when you're 20 or even 30 that you need to get it every 3 to 4 months. I didn't do that. I would get it like once every 9 months. I think that's totally sufficient. So I have stopped it throughout the years while I was trying to get pregnant multiple times with, infertility treatments and just, over the years, all my struggles with that. So I did stop, Botox altogether and just, went all natural just as a way to just try everything I could to get pregnant. And I've noticed no matter if I do it like regularly, now that I'm older, like every 4 to 6 months, or I stopped for 2 years and then did it, I feel like for me it lasts the same amount of time. So they do say, like, there's studies that if you keep getting it, you need to get less and less because your muscle, it's weaker and you need less. There is some information about If you get it too much, does it paralyze the muscle and then the muscle atrophies because you're not using it? Because if you think about it, like, if you're bedridden and you're not using your muscles, they atrophy, right? So they do find, I guess, the muscles does atrophy a little bit, but the other underlying muscles take over. I mean, I'm not a doctor. You can ask your doctor more about it or just research it. I really haven't myself had any issues in 16, 17 years of getting Botox where I felt like my muscle atrophied and like I have a problem. And that's a pretty long time of getting Botox consistently, as well as a lot of my clients have been getting Botox that long also. And I haven't seen this like muscle atrophy where there's like a huge problem and they're, freaking out about it. No, I haven't seen where the Botox like wears off quicker the more that you get it, or it lasts longer the longer that you wait. But obviously everybody reacts differently and you want to talk to your doctor and consult and see how your body reacts. But I did just read a bunch of information, which I'm going to try the next time I get Botox, of 3 ways to increase, prolong your Botox. So keep watching this video and I'm going to go over that. I think it's interesting and it makes a lot of sense. About Botox and waiting too long to get it. I do think it is better to get it sooner than later. Okay, so you want to get it, and I can't say a specific age because, I've had 20-year-old girls that work for me and they have a lot of lines because they get a lot of sun exposure or just their genetic makeup, or they go tanning year round. So I would say sooner than later, if you're starting to see these fine lines in your forehead and around your eyes coming and they're there a lot and your makeup starts to settle in them, then just try Botox a little bit and see if you like it, or try a Botox alternative, maybe with a microneedle roller, or get a facial and see what they can recommend for treatments. Some microcurrent is really amazing too to help lift the brow and even penetrate in some of those products. So those are some ideas, but I feel like the longer that you wait, right, and then the lines get deeper, especially here, it's so hard to then get Botox and smooth that out completely. So don't let those lines, especially here, get too deep, because then you're going to need to get into fillers. Or even here, sometimes these lines get super deep and you can't smooth them 100% with Botox. So if you want like a smooth forehead, I don't think that you're going to get it with Botox if you wait too long. Now, talking about Botox and waiting too long to get it, I do think it is better to get it sooner than later. Okay, so you want to get it, and I can't say a specific age because, I've had 20-year-old girls that work for me and they have a lot of lines because they get a lot of sun exposure or just their genetic makeup, or they go tanning year round. So I would say sooner than later, if you're starting to see these fine lines in your forehead and around your eyes coming and they're there a lot and your makeup starts to settle in them, then just try Botox a little bit and see if you like it, or try a Botox alternative, maybe with a microneedle roller, or get a facial and see what they can recommend for treatments. Some microcurrent is really amazing too to help lift the brow and even penetrate in some of those products. So those are some ideas, but I feel like the longer that you wait, right, and then the lines get deeper, especially here, it's so hard to then get Botox and smooth that out completely. So don't let those lines, especially here, get too deep, because then you're going to need to get into fillers. Or even here, sometimes these lines get super deep and you can't smooth them 100% with Botox. So if you want like a smooth forehead, I don't think that you're going to get it with Botox if you wait too long. So if it's starting to bother you, I just recommend seeing someone and getting some options. If you don't want to start Botox yet, then see what other options that you can do, whether it be a treatment or an at-home product, an at-home treatment that you can do. And I can even do a video on things that I think are good, like these microcurrent things. I'll try the patches out and let you know like what I think about those. But I do have, pretty new Botox. So with my Botox, I get it. So I still have movement because I have little kids and I feel like, I don't know, if my face is like completely frozen, they don't know if I'm like mad at them or I can't show emotion. So I do like to have some movement, but I have clients that want no movement at all. So that's another thing. You can get your Botox customized to what you want. You talk to your physician and you say like, I don't want to have any movement at all. I just want it like no lines and be smooth. Or I want to have movement, which most of my clients want a more natural effect, right? So they can move their eyebrows and scrunch. and still their face moves. So that's just something to consider. Like, don't be nervous the first time you get it. You think you're going to be like totally frozen. No, you consult with your doctor and you talk to them about, what you want. So if it's starting to bother you, I just recommend seeing someone and getting some options. If you don't want to start Botox yet, then see what other options that you can do, whether it be a treatment or an at-home product, an at-home treatment that you can do. And I can even do a video on things that I think are good, like these microcurrent things. I'll try the patches out and let you know like what I think about those. But I do have, pretty new Botox. So with my Botox, I get it. So I still have movement because I have little kids and I feel like, I don't know, if my face is like completely frozen, they don't know if I'm like mad at them or I can't show emotion. So I do like to have some movement, but I have clients that want no movement at all. So that's another thing. You can get your Botox customized to what you want. You talk to your physician and you say like, I don't want to have any movement at all. I just want it like no lines and be smooth. Or I want to have movement, which most of my clients want a more natural effect, right? So they can move their eyebrows and scrunch and still their face moves. So that's just something to consider. Like, don't be nervous the first time you get it. You think you're going to be like totally frozen. No, you consult with your doctor and you talk to them about, what you want. So next thing I want to talk about is Botox alternatives. So I do have some clients who are all natural and they are in their 30s, 20s, 30s, and they don't want to get Botox yet. So I have looked into Botox alternatives. I think that they're okay. I definitely don't think that they replace Botox 100% and paralyze the muscle and create that, lack of movement the same in any way, shape, or form. It's not as dramatic. I do a treatment called the Botox alternative treatment. So it's like a mesotherapy solution with 2 peptides that have a Botox-like effect that I do with the microneedling, that people really do like it. So, that's a nice treatment. And then there are over-the-counter products, like argireline is an ingredient that also is said to have the Botox-like effect. There's peptides, peptides are, they deliver messages to the other cells, right, to create some type of effect. So they're messengers. Peptides are messengers. You can look at them like that. So there are peptides that also in studies have been shown to, relax the muscle a little bit. So I think it can't hurt to try them, right? Like, why not try them? Especially if you don't want to get Botox or you want to see if it prolongs your Botox. So I do use these just in my eye creams just to see, if it's going to help or not. I haven't noticed either way because I use them all the time, but it's something to consider. Now, there's other things I was reading about, like bee venom in some products. I haven't tried it. I'm allergic to bees, so I don't know how I would react to bee venom products, but they apparently like have a Botox-like effect, and they also, because of the venom, like in the lip glosses, they create that tingling sensation. I guess it creates like a little inflammation, so it swells a little bit and smooths out the line. So that's something you could try. I'm going to try, just found when I was researching some patches, I guess, that have little microneedles in the patch apparently, and you wear it overnight. So I'll do a review on that and see, what my thoughts are and let you know about that. Okay, so people also ask me what happens when the Botox wears off. Does your face go back to like exactly the way that it was? And no, so the Botox kind of slowly wears off and the muscles start to get their movement back. So then you will slowly over time go back to the way, to full movement of the face. But it's not like you had like all these lines, right? They became smooth and then your Botox wears off and then like in one day and then like bam, it's back. No, it's like very gradual, it's natural, so you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so here we go. The 3 things that you can do to prolong your Botox. Now, I read this on a website and you can also look at it. It's called the International Association for Physicians in Aesthetic Medicine. So they have a bunch of information on new alternatives, new things coming over from overseas Botox competition, or so I'm talking about Botox, but I'm really talking about all the whole category: Botox, Dysport, and Xeomin, you know, the neurotoxins. But there are some newer ones that are going to be coming over that the FDA is currently trialing that look really promising, and they'd be a lower price point. So the more competition there is in that market, the better for us, because then, you know, Allergan in the beginning just totally was the only person in the ball game, and they could charge whatever they wanted. So the more that come in, the more options that we have, the better for us. Okay, so the 3 things that you can do to prolong your Botox. So again, I'm getting this from the International Association for Physicians in Aesthetic Medicine, and I'm going to read it to you because I think it is fascinating. Okay, so number 1 is take a zinc supplement. So I did not know this. So it says take zinc supplements to help absorb the solution. Since Botox is a member of the enzyme group which depends on its zinc, it is recommended that patients take supplements to help the body absorb the Botox. Phytase present in the zinc supplement may help improve the results produced by Botox injections, especially in those who have a zinc deficiency. A study showed that zytase, a compound of zinc, and phytase taken 4 days prior to Botox injections show long-lasting results in patients' skin after receiving injections. Now, that's fascinating. I've actually increased my zinc supplementation since, you know, coronavirus came into the picture. So I am curious. I'm going to see what my zinc is made of, but if I do notice an improvement in my Botox this time around. Okay, so number 2 that you can do to prolong your Botox is apply Retin-A topical on the treated area. Now, I don't regularly apply vitamin A because I have such sensitive skin and I'm reactive and I break out. But I will read to you what it says specifically. Combining the Botox treatment with anti-aging topicals such as Retin-A can help produce the desired results in the upper part of the face. Botox injections paired with a topical retinoid help prevent the need for a large number of Botox units and help prolong the effects of the treatment. So I think that's interesting. So I may increase my retinol products in my treated areas and see if that does have an effect, and I will let you know. Okay, here's the other thing that's a little problematic for me. So it says avoid direct sunlight, which is fine, except right now it's summer and I have a baby, so I'm always outside because everything is closed, and strenuous exercise. So I'm a big strenuous exerciser. So let's see what it says. Okay, so aside from the recommended protection against sun exposure, it should be avoided prior to your Botox treatment. Sunshine boosts circulation and causes blood vessels to disperse the Botox solution at a faster rate. The same applies with cardiovascular exercise. Proteins need time to properly diffuse into the skin and affect the muscles in the targeted area after they are injected. So exercising vigorously after being injected with Botox can cause the solution to metabolize before it has had the time to properly diffuse, therefore reducing the effects of the treatment. Even after the prescribed 24-hour waiting period, patients are recommended to be careful when they return to their exercise regimen. The facial expressions made while working out can make the muscles contract faster and cause the effects of Botox to wear off. So, that's a problem for me. So I don't know if I can avoid that. I mean, I can, not exercise maybe the same day that I get my Botox next time and see what happens. But I know the last time I got Botox, because it's been so hot here, it was really hot that day. And I was in the sun walking the baby. I walked like 3 to 5 miles. So I did get it. So I don't know. So, I mean, it's 2 out of the 3 maybe isn't bad. Well, we'll see what happens, or I'll see you next time I get Botox in the winter and I'm not walking the baby outside. If that even makes a difference, I've really never noticed. I mean, I had recently stopped Botox because I was trying to get pregnant and I did an infertility treatment. So I hadn't gotten Botox for like 2 years, and I had gotten it for my birthday in May. And I did notice, it wore off the same amount. Like I thought it would last longer because I hadn't gotten it in so long, but no, it wore off in the 3 months. So I got it again, May, June, July, August. So I got it again, like at 4 months, a little under 4 months. So who knows? But I hope this video helps you, give you some tips on make your Botox last longer, if you should try Botox. some Botox alternatives. I'll definitely do another video maybe on Botox alternative treatments that would be good for you to do at home, and things that you can maybe ask for if you want to get a treatment, things that I think have worked for my clients, and maybe you can ask your estheticians for as well. So anyway, talk to you soon. Bye guys.